Hi guys, this is Aaron Etheridge with the third of the Worlds of Magic gameplay videos. Today we're going to be taking a look at the tactical battle board, which is where battles in Worlds of Magic are played out. To begin with, this is an arena battle. The arena is a place where you can just put together a player army of whatever units you want, an enemy army out of whatever units you want. You have unlimited access to the spell list. You have a lot more mana than you would normally bring into a battle, or as much mana as you would bring in late game, so that you can test high tier spells and things like that. The arena is a place for you to practice your tactics, where you can look at, okay, if I had a Sorcerer Lord with this build or that build, if I had an army composed of these units, how would I have them fight? And it's excellent for this type of video because it allows us to give you highlights rather of what what we'll find in the battle board. Now, to begin with, obviously, we have got the actual battle board itself laid out as a square grid. There are a number of objects on the board that are just randomly placed and can be used to tactical advantage because the units can't walk through them. You can turn the battle board with by holding down the right mouse button. You can hold down the middle mouse button and move the camera right now, and of course you can zoom in and zoom out, so you never have to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to see something. You can, if something gets too close to an obstacle or something like that and you have to move the camera, it's not a big deal to do that. Before we actually start the fight here, let's walk through the GUI. It's very simple, very informative, but still very simple to understand. When you hover over a unit, in the upper left hand corner of the screen, you're going to see a little information panel pop up with the basic rundown of what this unit's capabilities are. When you select a unit, you're going to see an identical panel in the top right hand side of the screen. You can compare the unit you've got selected against the unit that you are considering attacking to see what kind of chance of success you have. You can also right click or click this button in the case of your own units to pull up the unit panel, and this gives you a much more detailed breakdown of the unit. It's actually the same panel that the armies menu uses on the strategic map. I actually walked through that in another video, so I'm not going to walk through it today, but it gives you a load of information. Also on this wheel you see unit abilities. These are Paladin, and High Mem Paladin can heal. We don't need to do that now, but we probably will before the end of the video. Here we have the casting button, which opens the spell book, the unit info panel, which I just showed you. That deselects a unit, that opens the main menu, that ends the turn, and here we have the mana bar, loaded with more mana than we would normally have because this is an arena battle. Alright, to begin with, they've got a number of skeletal archers back there. Keep in mind that this unit is composed of 4 members in this case. Each of those members gets an attack roll and a damage roll. So what I want to do is lessen up the number of skeletal archers that they have, so that they won't just be raining down arrows on me. So I'm going to open up with a spell. I want you to take note of the fact that this spell book is loaded with spells that can be used on the tactical battle board. It's important to realize that we have tactical, strategic, and global spells. Some spells work both on the tactical battle board and the strategic world map. But either way, what you see here is just tactical spells, no strategic, no global, and it's only about half the spells that we intend to have before release. So you're going to be able to bring a lot of power to the battle board in very specific ways. I'm going to cast Fireball. It's an old favorite. I want to show you this. You can click I to bring up an information panel. It's got the casting cost, the infusion cost. Infusion adds a little bit more to a spell, maybe more duration, maybe a larger area of effect, maybe more damage. As you can see, for 20 mana, this Fireball does 66 damage in a 3x3 area. If you add 15 mana to that, it adds a 1d6 fire damage, bringing it up to 76. Now, obviously, 20 mana for 66 damage seems a lot more efficient than 35 mana for 76 damage. But keep in mind, there are creatures out there that are fire resistant, but not immune to fire. So you may run into a creature where Fireball is your big area of effect spell, and that's what you're wanting to bring out. But you're facing fire-resistant creatures. You can infuse the spell, and rather than pelting them with one fireball after another, turn after turn after turn, that really isn't doing anything because it's being resisted, you can hit them with a giant super hot fireball and burn them to death even though they're resistant to fire. So you want to look at what your infusion options are when you go to cast a spell. We're just going to cast an ordinary fireball. Skeletal archers are really weak units, and there's a fair chance I will burn all of them to death. And yes, there's a fair chance that they'll all save and I'll burn none of them to death. So there you go. Pride goeth before destruction. On the other hand, the arcane wraiths, which normally would have walked that off, took massive damage from that. So that was a bit of luck to make up for the fact that it really didn't do much to the skeletal archers. Having cast my spell, I'm going to show you something else. These are skeletal archers, which I've said about 5 times now. They are resistant to piercing damage because they're made out of bone. So if I shoot at them with my Grey Elf archers, I criticaled them for 12 damage. And all of that damage was reduced. So I not only wasted a shot, I wasted a critical. You really need to look at what units are resistant to before you go attacking them. And that's another reason that the arena is such a good place. You can face things in the arena before you really face them. Those Hekava, the Unhallowed Priest, they didn't have damage resistance. You can see how much more damage we did with our shot because it was successful. These are Javelineers. They do have a ranged attack, but it's a thrown attack. The odds of hitting anything from this range, very, very slim. These guys have to get pretty close. They're also a decent melee unit, though. We're going to move them up as far as I can because I kind of want to keep my guys in a block. I don't want any of them sticking out there like a sore thumb so they can be surrounded and killed. Alright, that's pretty much the move I want to make. We're going to go ahead and end the turn. Keep in mind we are still working on the AI, and it is in a constant state of flux. And you know, sometimes it doesn't make the best battle board choices, but we certainly welcome feedback about that. If you see the AI doing something that just obviously, you know, this was a poor tactical decision, let us know, and we'll work to improve it. You know, one of our driving passions is to produce an AI that's actually fun to play against, and so we're putting a lot of work into it. We're going to cast another spell. Actually, I want to get these Phantom Lancers before they get me. And Gale Riders have first strike, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bless their weapon, which is okay. As you can see, it gives them bonus damage and a better to hit chance, because what we want is we want that first strike to hit, and they're already injured, so what we're hoping is that we can knock out one member of the unit before they can counterattack. And I should have paid more attention to the colors of the squares there. That would have told me you can move into that space, but you're not going to be able to attack. So I've actually moved up there, and now I'm kind of sticking out there. But they still have first strike going for them, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to try this, even though the odds are... Yeah, I knew that the odds were just astronomically slim that I could hit them at all. Either way, we're going to move our paladins in. And oh wait, can I? I can attack. Okay, I misread the... Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to do with the Gale Riders. We did a lot of damage. We reduced their members by 1, and so their attack just wasn't, you know, it was about half of what it could have been. So we're going to use our archers and work on polishing off these Hekava. And I'm just going to let you guys see me play through the entire battle just to give you an idea. You know, we may see some critical hits. You know, you've seen a lot of the very basics of the battle board. There's a lot to it. You know what? I'm actually going to heal those Gale Riders. For one thing, it'll show you the healing. But to really experience it, obviously, you've got to get in and actually play with it yourself. For one thing, when in the game's full release, there are actually going to be 8 playable races. Right now there are 4. You've got the Unhallowed, and Unhallowed, they work very much by themselves. There are certain heroes which will work the Unhallowed. Heroes have not been implemented yet. They're right around the corner. They're going to be on their way very soon, but they're not implemented yet. See, those Death Guards have decided to charge for my archers. Not the best AI decision. If they get through my lines, it will be good, but I don't have any plan to allow them to do that. Either way, there are heroes that will work with the Unhallowed and mercenaries that will work with the Unhallowed. But other than that, basically, what you've got is what you've got. With the other races, you can mix and match. You can start off as the Highmen. Yeah, I should have known they weren't actually given the options. I might attack the Death Guards. You can start out with the Highmen, capture Grey Elf City, start adding Grey Elves to your army. You can, you know, then go on and get Draconians. That went very poorly. Okay. And, you know, build a mix and match army of the units that are going to work well together, where their unit abilities are going to kind of synergize together, where their movement rates are right for what you're doing, and you can build very, very powerful and tactically interesting armies from the different races in the game. I mean, this is just a taste, guys. And I'm going to show you a spell that I like, Ice Storm, because this is way serious overkill for these skeletal archers back there. But we are coming to the close of this video. I think you've pretty much seen what the Tactical Battle Board has to offer. And there is a lot to it, which is one of the reasons we put in the arena, where you can get in and you can experiment before you've dedicated yourself to a game where you're going to play hundreds and hundreds of turns, and maybe you don't like these, you don't like the magic circles you got. You thought you were really going to be into fire, and you just don't like those spells. I mean, okay, that's probably a bad example, but either way, you can get in and really see, what the game, how the game is going to play out tactically, and so the arena is something really good. But either way, this shows you. That's it. I won. It was just an arena match, and it doesn't even show you who won. It's just, I mean, the game ends after you win or the enemy wins, because it's a training exercise. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we are certainly hoping that you are going to join us in playing Worlds of Magic. So, thank you very much for watching.